Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our live webcast. The focus of our webinar today is on intelligent dashboards, and our presenter this morning is Annie Zemlicka-Hayes, the Solutions Specialist at ClickDimensions. I believe she's been with ClickDimensions well before I started working with the team, so I have to say today's session is definitely going to be informative, as Annie has seen the platform grow and has patiently worked with many of us to add in new features and functionalities based off of feedback and the various user experiences. On that note, I will now pass it over to Annie, and I hope you enjoy the session today.
Thank you, Shanella. And hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me today for our Coffee with ClickDimensions presentation. I'm excited to talk to you today. Some of you I may have worked with before. I've been with ClickDimensions for 5 years, so I'm excited to talk about some of the things that have changed, some of our new offerings, and some holiday card information. So taking a closer look at our agenda, we're going to take a look first at the new Intelligent Dashboards offering from ClickDimensions. You may have noticed probably earlier last year that we mentioned a purchase of a company called SweetSpot. And what we have done is we have created an intelligent dashboard with ClickDimensions data and with outside data sources like Google Analytics, Google AdWords, Microsoft Advertising. So we're going to take a closer look at that today as that offer has officially been released. And I'll talk to you about our introductory offer for that product. As well, I did want to take a few minutes to go over some of the newer features, as I know you are users of ClickDimensions, talking through some of the things that have been released in the past 6 months or so that you can understand how we've added to the product over time. And I'll tease a few things that are on the way as well. And then I have had a lot of questions from current customers about what's the best way to create some holiday cards with ClickDimensions, or what are some tips and tricks on that. So we'll go through that. And we will leave time at the end for Q&A. So if you do have any questions for me about the product or about using ClickDimensions, please feel free to save those for the end, and we will open it up for questions then. I wanted to start by taking a moment to talk about the ClickDimensions marketing platform. And so we are really focusing on marketing applications like your core ClickDimensions product, marketing analytics with our SweetSpot and Intelligent Dashboards offering, and marketing services, so services specifically for ClickDimensions. And today we're going to be focusing on marketing analytics and talking about intelligent dashboards and how we can pull that data through into dashboards that make sense for marketers. So what is intelligent dashboards? Intelligent dashboards was created to solve a number of challenges. So it creates a single view of marketing and sales data. It will allow you to visualize your performance in pre-built dashboards. So dashboards that are already built for you. You're not having to have someone go in and create a dashboard, take the time to decide what should be in there. It's already created for you. And it's going to track your performance with industry standard KPIs. So we worked with some customers of ClickDimensions to understand what KPIs were important to them in order to build this product. We do measure your business results, so we allow you to create goals for yourself. Every organization and industry might be a little bit different, so you actually create your own goals against the KPIs and intelligent dashboards, and you collaborate through it as well. So you can have comments, you can really talk through the program as well, and I'll show you that today. And the nice thing is the integrations with the data and all of the updates to the Intelligent Dashboards product are automatic. So you do not have to go in and update the solution. That's done automatically. The data is refreshed by us, so it brings all of that data together. So with that, we are going to jump into Intelligent Dashboards first. You may have noticed in your ClickDimensions, in the planning section, that there is now an Intelligent Dashboards button. And so when you go there, you will be redirected should you choose to move forward with Intelligent Dashboards. This is an additional product to the core product, but you will be directed to that dashboard. And so I clicked that button and it came here. Now, the nice thing about Intelligent Dashboards is it's also accessible by Android and Apple application, so you can view it on your phone or tablet if you'd like to. And it comes with these pre-built dashboards. So we're not just taking a look at your email marketing, your campaign automation, your landing pages, events with ClickDimensions, all of those pieces, but we're also bringing in Google Analytics, Google Ads, Microsoft Advertising. You can bring in Google Sheets, Google Search Console. So there's a number of outside connectors, and you'll see these grow over time with the product, with social coming out in the next few months. So let's start by diving into these dashboards a little further. The most common one that I have customers ask me to show is the email marketing dashboard. So we will start there. And this allows you to get a view of the email marketing piece. Try it this way. I think I have two open. There we go. So when we go to the dashboards, you'll have this drop down here that will allow you to access all of the dashboards that are available. Again, we'll start with email marketing. And right now, I'm looking at the date range of December 7th through December 13th. But you can set your date range to whatever you'd like. I'm actually going to go in and do the entire previous month. And the KPI variation is automatically going to be set to the previous month from that. So we're going to go ahead and apply this. And you'll see as we do that, it updates the dashboard for you. So we can come in and see things like our email funnel. How many emails were sent over that time? How many of those were delivered? How many were opened and how many were clicked? What was our percentage of recipients that clicked versus did not click? We can bring all of that data through as well. And you'll see that we have a number of visualizations against those. But where this really shines is taking an overall look at your email performance. So you can see a number of things in Dynamics 365, but this is allowing you to really dive into that data over time. So if we come in and say, hey, you know, for the month of December, I'm not really at my goal yet because we're only tracking through, you know, the first 15 days. So let's say I have a goal of 75 email sends this month. I can go in and I can take a look at this. I can understand that there was 35 sends. I can get comments. I can have a description. And so there's a number of pieces here, including the ability to define goals. So you can define goals against this and track, hey, out of 70 or 75 sends, what am I getting percent to goal? What comments are going across this? So if you're not meeting your goals, if you're coming in and you want to have discussions with the team about what the next steps are, what can we do to meet the send goal, for example. If marketing wanted to come back and add, oh, this is our plan for the month, we're already tracking towards 80 email sends this month with this many recipients getting them, they can even attach files or pin it to a specific date. Hey, we should be able to hit this by this date. And so you're allowed to bring all of these pieces in to really understand what those next steps are. If you're ever questioning what a KPI is, and there's over 170 KPIs in Intelligent Dashboards, we do allow you to come in and take a look at, for example, one of the ones a number of clients I've talked to really like to track is the click to open rate. So if you're ever questioning, well, okay, it's great that you have that, but how are you getting it and why should it be important to me? Every KPI is going to tell you that. So it'll talk to you about what this is. Why is it important to you? Why should you understand that? And you want them to click your call to action. So test different options for your subscribers and so on. So it'll even give you some hints there as well. If you want to look at the unique open rate, we can again look at the information for that. Why is it important? What should your open rate be? What is a common open rate? We'll pull some of those through as well into the KPIs. So the idea behind these dashboards is you can really dive into them and understand how your marketing is performing. Now, in addition, we've just kind of filtered this by date range currently, but you can go in and you can filter this by a specific email that you sent. You can filter it by subject. You can filter it by email template. So there's a number of different pieces there that we can sort and filter this by. If you're tracking things back to a Dynamics campaign, so if you're doing any campaign tracking, and what that means is if you're tracking it back to the Dynamics campaign entity, you can track ClickDimensions emails, you can track forms, surveys, landing pages, events back to specific campaigns. It will allow you to report better with tools like this and within Dynamics. So I always take a moment to talk about that, and we can look at it in the live environment too, but really using that campaign entity in Dynamics helps this through. In addition, we can do things like, what is our sales funnel? This is another popular one for anyone who wants to track their sales. And it allows you to go through and see how many opportunities were closed, how many of those were, how many leads were converted to opportunities over time and things like that. So it really allows you to pull that data through in a meaningful way. So I can come in and see, looks like we had a number of leads created. We're early in the month, so those haven't converted, but we're going to get that sales funnel there. We're going to get all the information about that within this dashboard. When were the leads created over time? We can see, the first day of the month we did really well, and it doesn't look like we're tracking as well through the end of the month. So someone may want to go in and say, here, set a goal for maybe over 100 leads to be created this month. Ideally, you would want more than that, but come in and say, at sales, what can we do to help with leads? Maybe you're on the marketing team and you want to know what you can do. And you can have that conversation right within the platform to understand what the next best steps are. If you have goal setting capabilities within the product, you'll be able to set goals here as well. In addition, you can do Google Analytics dashboards, you can do event-based dashboards, landing page-based dashboards. So there's a number of options within the product to do any of these. So if you're tracking your events, you want to see how many events you had, how many people attended, that is easily done as well. And these are pulling events that you have used the ClickDimensions connectors for. So for example, Eventbrite, WebEx, GoToWebinar, and Cvent. For those of you that don't know, we've also added the ability to track Zoom meetings back. So if you're doing anything on Zoom, you can track those events back as well. So here's the number of events we've had, the number of registrants. What is our attendance rate? This is a good one to watch as well. And how many leads have we created from events? And we'll go through and talk about all of the events here. If you need to filter that by event type, you're doing different types of events. Maybe we just want to focus on webinars. We can easily do that. We can do it by event name as well. So as you can see, within Intelligent Dashboards, we can really drill down into this data, understand what it means to us, and track it over time. Now, if you do need to look at a specific report or a specific KPI, we can go into each KPI. For example, attendance rate might be something to look at. You can get the detail of every KPI here. And instead of having to send the whole dashboard to someone, you could download this as a PDF and share it with someone on the team. So again, you can drill down really far into these, understand which KPIs are the most important to your organization. For example, a sales-based organization might prefer the sales dashboard, but a nonprofit might prefer something like, how many people are we getting to attend our events and how much is that turning into new memberships? So that's just a few of the dashboards. I do want to encourage everyone that if you'd like to see this and talk about more about how it would benefit your business specifically, feel free to reach out. I do a number of personalized demos on Intelligent Dashboards as well that will allow you to dive deeper into the product. And if you do have people that may not come into something like this frequently, or you want to share something with the sales leaders about how well marketing is performing, you can also schedule exports to be sent to them at a specific basis. So if I wanted to weekly, month to date, show the sales team how many leads marketing has created, I could easily do that here and send them a very scheduled report to their inbox every Monday, month to date. And that has been a feature that the people that are using intelligent dashboards already have really liked as well, because they may have meetings where they need to present a PowerPoint on the lead funnel and so on. So with that, that's intelligent dashboards. Again, there's a number of things that you can dive into here. If you have interest in seeing the dashboards that include Google Analytics, Google AdWords, Microsoft Advertising, please reach out. I'd be happy to show those to you to understand if this is a fit for your organization. But intelligent dashboards is really great, and it allows us to pull a lot of data in and together in the same place that we weren't able to previously with ClickDimensions. With that, I did want to talk about some of the things I've been really excited about at ClickDimensions. We've been doing a lot of great additions to the product, and if you haven't updated your ClickDimensions solution file recently, I would suggest that, because there's a lot of great things we've done. First being that now, and I've had a lot of great compliments about this one, when you go into the email templates, rather than just a listing view, we're going to give you a view of what the actual emails are, so that we can come in and see those. We can still search them, you can still tag them, you can easily get a preview of the template. In fact, let's search some of mine here. We'll dive into those a little bit deeper. We're going to take a look at specifically our holiday card. So as we come into this, I'll show you guys our holiday card first, and then we'll come back to some more of the new features, because I do want to talk about this. I get quite a few questions about this specifically, but what are some best practices around sending out cards, or e-cards, essentially email cards, this time of year? With ClickDimensions, you have the ability to easily add personalization. So you can use our personalization menu to address them by name, to add the name of their account manager or account rep at the bottom of the email. Use that personalization, keep the message very personalized to the recipient, and say thank you. Something I've also noticed is it's really okay to have a call to action in these. They kind of stay away from the sales speak. So you can come in and say, hey, if you have any questions, we'd be happy to do a review of your account. Don't hesitate to reach out and have a great holiday type of thing. You can always follow up with a call to personally thank them. In fact, when you send emails with ClickDimensions, it's easy to set a task for those sales reps to give a call if you'd like to afterwards. And don't be afraid to use these for employee appreciation as well. It's easy to add your employees to a marketing list and send this out to them, so that you can, or maybe one a little bit different for them actually, but to send out a holiday card for them as well. So let's take a look at this specific holiday card. And how I created this one. Now, something to note with ClickDimensions, and I've had some questions on this, but ClickDimensions does support GIFs. So I've added one here. You'll see that it has minimal animation to it. You don't really want it to take away from the message, but it does draw their eye to the holiday card. So feel free to use those. Make sure it's not too flashy. Sometimes that'll turn people away from them, but made a very simple holiday card here. Again, make sure to add that personalization. So go into the personalization. I've selected the contact, and I want to, in this case, because I'm reaching out to them, add the first name. So I can easily add that personalization and make sure that I'm reaching out directly to them. If you haven't used our new drag and drop editor, I highly suggest it. This is really great for keeping things mobile responsive. As more people are working from home, they're answering their emails or checking their emails via mobile. So these are automatically mobile responsive, and we'll pull that personalization through to the email as well. What are some newer features? Some of you may not be using this, some of you may be using it already, but you now have the ability to save these to a My Template section. And what that means is it's a list of templates that are available for others in your organization to use. So I can easily go to email templates here, go to the My Template section, and see any templates that are available to me that my marketing team has created or that someone has created for us to use. And we now have the ability to lock corporate styling as well. So as we go into some of the newer features we've built in, you can set your corporate styling and save those very easily. This can also be controlled by security roles, so that only specific people in your organization have the ability to set the corporate styling for your emails. We had a lot of questions about that, and it's something that we did add. Now, there may be specific sections in an email that someone should not be able to remove. For example, you may not want this removed at all. If they're going to send this, it needs to be on there. You can now lock sections with ClickDimensions as well. That is also controlled by security roles, so that people within your organization would not be able to change the look and feel of the holiday card if they're going to send this version of it. Only the person that has the lock security role, the lock block security role, would be able to remove this and unlock it. Another thing I've seen quite a bit of excitement around is the ability to view these in HTML. So now we can view the email in HTML at any time, right within the drag and drop editor. So this has been a great addition to that editor. If you want to edit the HTML, you can, but I do like people to know that if you do choose to edit the HTML, you may not be able to get back into the drag and drop portion of the designer because the HTML will change the look and feel of the email. Doesn't mean you can't make changes with it, but once you're in HTML, that's where you will stay. So that's just a quick look at a holiday card I created. Again, it has that call to action. Click below if you'd like to be connected with me for an end of year review of your account type of thing that we added. And it's a very simple card, just thanking them for their business. In addition, ClickDimensions has added a number of new things to campaign automation. So if you haven't used campaign automation recently, or if you're just getting started with campaign automation, we have added some new options here that have been great for the automation of any campaigns that you're building. Some of the most notable, and again, if you haven't updated your ClickDimensions solution file recently, I highly suggest it because it's going to allow you access to some of these features if you haven't seen them before. But let's go ahead and start with a new template. We have built in some templates for you. So now you have a simple contact us form, event invitation. If you need to run double opt-ins for Castle or anything like that, that can be automated through here as well. So I'm going to start with a blank one in this case and select that. And the nice thing is I can start campaign automations now by someone visiting a page on my website. So if you have a request a quote page or click here to become a member page, something like that, you may consider having a task set up for a business development representative to follow up if someone reaches that page. Now you want to be careful how you use this. I always caution this because if you're adding this to every page on your website, you're asking a lot of any system, whether it be ClickDimensions or any other system that you use, to keep up with that. You really want to be pointed about how you use the page visited trigger about things that are really important to your business. It's great to have, especially if you build it into an entire flow where if we send an email, we can check to see whether or not a page was visited. And if it was, if they clicked on it and they visited the page, then we can go in and create a task. We can also set it up so it's for every visit within 10 days. We don't want to send an email out every time they click on it, right? But if they're coming back to it consistently every 10 days, we may want to create a task for someone to follow up. So that's one of the new things that's been added. In addition, another great one that we've had, especially for anyone who's doing like new customer onboarding, new member onboarding, is the field updated. So for example, if you have something, and we'll just do a membership-based scenario to keep this one simple, but you can come in and say, on the contact record, did the field for member or non-member become updated, right? And you can choose any field here. And we'll just, come in and you can choose any field that you'd like. You may choose whether they're a member or a non-member. if they're an active contact versus inactive. But if that changes, then you can say, if changes to member, send welcome email. If they click within the welcome email, if they click, I need some help or I have some questions, let's create a task for someone to follow up with them. So instead of having to run a workflow or do a Power Automate here, which you can do as well anytime someone becomes a new member, you can now just say, when the field's been updated, let's kick off a process for that. So anytime someone is new to our organization, we can run a welcome for them. If they don't interact, you may want to consider checking in. So we can come in and we can check in with them after a few weeks. Do you have any questions? Is there anything that you need? If they click the button that they do, again, just easily building a campaign automation here, then we can make sure we're setting a task for someone to follow up. It allows you to easily add an onboarding process, or if someone makes changes or you make changes to their record and you need to confirm those, then you can go through a process for that as well. So that's one of the new things that was added. If they make it all the way through the process, you may decide that you want to check a box that says they've been completely onboarded. You could do that here, onboarding completed, and you can update a field on their record that shows the date for that as well. So just some of the new things that have been added to campaign automation that I've seen used quite a bit. Really, that update field and the field updated have been the biggest thing. But we also allow you to say, if they click on one of your social posts, you can follow up with them based on that as well. So one other new thing that we added there. So that's some of the exciting things with campaign automation. In addition, you'll notice that we added the connector for Zoom, which I mentioned earlier. But to tease something else we have coming, you will soon, within the next 3 to 6 months, be able to track Teams events back to ClickDimensions. So if you're doing anything with Microsoft Teams, that connector is coming. There's some other ones I can't announce coming as well. They won't be quite as soon, but there are some other asked for event-based connectors coming. In addition, you will see a new landing page builder, which we've had a lot of requests for, likely in Q1 of 2021. And that's going to be a more drag and drop experience, a great addition to what we have available for landing pages specifically. But if you haven't used it already, we also have a new survey builder. So we'll take a closer look at that. Now, as we come into this, you'll notice that it looks different than our original survey builder. It's much more of a drag and drop type experience, but it's going to allow you to control all of the pages of your survey here. It's going to allow you to set survey logic. Should they go to a page or a different question? Should a different question show up based on how they interacted? It has more flexibility than the original survey editor. But we can come in and say, hey, I want them to add their first name, create this question, call it first name. Is it visible? Yes or no? We can have some that aren't visible. What type of information do we want to put in there? In addition, we had a lot of questions about making NPS surveys available. Now you can now do NPS with our survey tool. And if you need a signature pad, you can add that as well. So just some of the neat new things that we've added into the survey tool. If you do have questions on this, let me know. It is brand new, added within the last 2 months, I think. But I've only been using it for a little while either. When you come in, again, you have your survey settings. You can save the survey and you can have multiple pages here. So it's very easy to set up and very easy to use compared to the original. If you do need to add images to this, if you want to add an image very easily, you can do that to the beginning of the survey. If you need to add HTML sections, you can do that here as well and access those and edit them. So this has been really exciting, especially for anyone who's been wanting to do NPS surveys or have more flexibility in the logic with their surveys specifically. So if you haven't used this yet, take a look. The idea behind this is that our forms will follow eventually. There will be some updates to that, but landing pages will come first. So there will be an update to landing pages in Q1 with a lot of great things like conditional content built into them. So I'm really excited for that one. I wish I could show it to you today, but they're not releasing that until Q1. So with that, that's a teaser of some of the newer things in ClickDimensions. We talked about intelligent dashboards today and holiday cards. I will go back to the slides here and just pull up some contact information. If you do have any questions specifically for me, my email address is listed there. But with that, I will pass it back to Shanella. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Annie. That was fun. I hope everyone enjoyed it as much as I did. I would like to thank you all for taking the time to attend our presentation today, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And thanks, Annie, for putting this together. I mean, it was really informative, and I'm quite excited for what's coming down the pipe. So thank you.
Me too. Very excited. Thank you, everyone, for your time today, and thank you, Shanella and CRM Dynamics, for having us.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.